Alright, so now when you launch Godot for the first time using this project manager, so you'll see this big chunk of area is covered by this grid and lines. So this is our 3D viewport. So most of the time that we are going to spend is inside here. So Godot, as I told you in my earlier videos, that Godot is both a 2D and a 3D engine. So it depends up to you. So what you want to create. If you want to create a 2D game, we are going to use the 2D workspace, which we'll see in a few minutes. And if you want to create a 3D game, then we have to use this 3D viewport. Now the first thing that you will notice over here is on the top we have this 2D, 3D, which is currently highlighted. Then we have a script tab, and then we have an asset library tab. So for example, if you want to create a 2D game, so you have to switch to this 2D tab. So let me just zoom in, and I hope that you'll be able to see this line. So basically it is telling me that this is my viewport area. I mean, this is the overall area in which the game will be displayed on the screen. So this is a 2D viewport, and by the way, I am able to zoom in and zoom out using my middle mouse scroll button. So I am basically just scrolling in and out in order to zoom in and zoom out. And if I click and drag my middle mouse button, so I'll be able to pan around in the viewport. Alright. So now coming to the next tab, and that is this. You can see it's empty. So basically it is telling me that okay, I have created an empty tab, but I have not saved it. I have not given it any name. So it's just a blank viewport. So I don't have any name attached to it. So we are just going to create a new viewport just in a minute. So now there are few other tools, which is the selection tool. This one is the move tool. This one is the rotate tool. This is the scale tool, and there are some other icons also, which we are going to see in some later videos. Now coming to the left hand side, we have a scene tab. Here you can see different nodes which is given by Godot, but if you want to choose any specific node also, you can click on this plus icon and choose your node. But for this but for the scope of this project, we are going to use a simple node only, and we are just going to focus more on the basics of GT script. So that's what we are going to do now. Apart from that, we have an import tab. So basically here, when you import something inside Godot engine, for example, if you import an image, texture, or if you import an audio, you can choose some settings based out of this. Then we have a file system. So basically the file system is this res that you can see, res and colon slash slash. So this is basically the root of your project. So whatever folders, files, or whatever that you are going to create in your project, in your game, is going to be residing inside this res folder. So if, for example, if I want to create a new folder, so I just have to right click on this res and go to new and click on this folder. So now I'll give this folder a name called scenes, and I'll just press enter, or I could have clicked OK to create this scene folder. Now here, as you can see, this one is empty. So basically I'm going to click on this 2D scene node. Now it's not necessary that I create a node out of this. I can create this other node also. So from here I'll just select this 2D node because we are just starting out. So now instantly you will notice here, now it is giving a name that is unsaved. So basically it is saying that okay, there are some changes. The star mark that you can see as stress is mask. The star mark is basically to tell you that okay, some changes has been made which is not saved, and this unsaved bracket, inside the bracket the unsaved text is showing you that this scene has not been saved once. So I'll just press Ctrl S in order to save my scene. I'll double click on this scenes folder to go inside that, and from here in the file I'll just give it a name called start. Okay, and just press on save. So now you can see that the start is coming over here, so it's showing me the scene name Also, I have my first node that I have added here, and if I try to expand this scenes folder over here, you can see that my scene is now being saved. So alright, so now let's just test out. I know this is a empty blank screen, but just test out for the sake of simplicity. So when I click on this play button, so basically this is going to run my scene, run my project, so whatever my project is. So for the first time, if I want to try to run, so as you can see, I have got this confirm dialog box. It is asking me that there is no main scene that has been defined. So what is a main scene? So basically main scene is a scene which will run by default whenever your project starts, or whenever you are launching, or let's say you build a game and you ship your game. So whenever your player is going to double click on that icon to launch your game, so this scene that you define will be the very first scene that will load up. All right, so in my case I just have one scene. So let's select, either you can click on the select button in order to select a scene, so it will automatically scan and show me the available scenes. As of now, you can see I have only one scene, so I'll just double click on that, and now instantly you can see I have this window. So this is my game preview window. So based on this size that I had showed you over here, so this is what I'm currently seeing over here. So now I'll just click on the close button in order to close it. So now the very first thing that you might notice that it is completely blank. So let's put something in it. So if I want to put a sprite or something, some text or anything inside that, one thing I have is I can right click on this node 2D and I can click on this add child node, and from here I can just select I can type sprite and I can select the sprite 2D, click on create, so that I'll get this sprite 2D added inside my node. Now Godot 3.5 or any version of Godot, including this Godot 4, works on node system. So whatever functionalities that you have, you can divide those into separate chunks and create a node out of it. Okay, so every functionality you can imagine as a separate mechanism which you can integrate into once and have your game ready. So this is the core idea, and once you start building things out of it, you will understand how easy and how effective it is, this approach is, to create in a much modular way. All right, so or else there is one more way to add a sprite, and let me just click on delete, and okay, delete node. So I pressed the delete button in order to delete it. So basically there is one more way. As you can see, I have an icon SVG. This is the default icon which comes with Godot, any Godot project. Later on we can obviously change it, but for now let's leave it as it is. So if I want to let's say I want to display anything inside this viewport that I have, so what I can do is I can simply drag this icon inside my viewport and leave it like this. So automatically you will see that sprite 2D with the name of icon is being added automatically, and if I hover over my mouse over it, you can see that the icon is the name that it has given by default icon, and its type is sprite 2D. So if I want to, let's say if I want to change the name of my nodes, I can simply click on my node and double click on that once in order to go into the edit mode. So I can double click on this and I can say my icon. So if I hover my mouse over it, now it is showing my icon and the type as sprite 2D. Now hit this play button once again, and right away you can see my awesome looking Godot icon right over here. So this was it about the basics. In the next video we will see some more details about the layout, how to rearrange it, and how to use the inspector window. So see you in the next video.